to have a successful season, I think the big thing for us is just having the right guys at the right weights, being healthy. We've kind of been plagued with some injuries throughout the season, and just keeping guys on the mat, keeping them competitive. And the two things is we've talked a lot about our why this year, is like why you're competing, why you're doing what you're doing. It's not always about the wins and losses. As long as we're keeping our goals in perspective, we're trying to get better every day. And the other big thing we're talking about this season is just being competitive in the room. And we talk about holding each other accountable. That means pushing each other in the room and being competitive in the room. So hopefully that carries over into our competition. And we have enough talent and enough guys in the room, I think now we can really start pushing each other as a team and as a program to get to the next level. Some of our key losses last year, I mean, all of our seniors that graduated were all really key elements for different parts of the program. You know, some guys were just really hard workers, key guys that we counted on in the lineup, guys that we could count on to move around. But I think 125, Edgar, we have to fill that hole. And then 174 with Josh Young out, and Danny Martacci at 133. So those three weight classes, graduating those three seniors, is going to be tough to fill in. We have some guys there, but they're going to be some young guys having to step in and take over some roles that were held by some seniors, upperclassmen that graduated last year. Some of our key returners, Antonio Pelusi, Anthony Mancini, I think are the two key guys right now, especially at the upper weights, kind of anchoring us, those two guys. And then Emmett Lacastri at 57. We have Brett Culp back, and Cole Aaron coming off an injury last year, and Cole's been kind of one of those guys that have been plagued with injuries his first 2 years here, so if we can keep him healthy, but 41 and 49 are key weights for us, but there's also where some of our best guys are, so I think those are some of our key returners, coming back, but we have some young guys that can push them too. I think our freshman class is really talented. We have some strong guys. Unfortunately, some of them are right at the weight classes. We have a lot of talent, 41, 49. So like guys like Casey and Chase are kind of right in the mix, but that's also a good situation. If they can break into the lineup, that's great. If not, they can spend their freshman year just kind of getting to learn college level wrestling. They'll get a lot of competition. 25 is going to be interesting. We have Mike Simonetti back, but also Jose Diaz is going to. Both those guys could easily take that 125 spot. 165, Crew Fullerton's looking really solid right now, but he has a senior he has to contend with, and Jake Connors. And 174, Chris Bollatino he could see some action right away at 174. Again, he's coming off of an injury over the summertime that he should be able to get in the lineup or start competing late in the first semester, maybe second semester. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had 2, 3, maybe even 4 freshmen in our lineup, but they're all talented. They're all right now preseason look good. They're fighting, scrapping right now. So we're excited. This year's schedule is pretty similar to last year. We're starting off with Binghamton Open. So everyone's going to be going, so we'll put our seniors to our freshmen in there. So we kind of see where their competition level's at, and then from there, the next thing is a pretty big tournament for us is a Keystone. We'll bring our key guys there, and there's some opens in November that we'll send some other guys to. Then our season really starts, I believe, is coming back off a break to Midlands. We're taking our top guys out to Midlands, and then from there we're very loaded in January and February with dual meets. We got Davidson back on the schedule. We're going to do that the night before the F&M Open. The other two teams are teams that we don't normally wrestle that are going to be interesting to put on the schedule is Gardner Webb and Campbell, and we're wrestling them down in Virginia at a neutral site. So those are two teams we don't normally see too often. And then obviously all our EIWA opponents are going to be key matches for us. We want to keep that Rep Cup, with Millersville. They got a new coach. Their program's, getting stronger. So that dual meet's going to get more competitive. But we want to keep that, streak alive. And the Dave Lehman F&M Open is becoming a bigger event every year. And this year, we're actually the dinner before, on the Friday before the tournament, we're recognizing Mark Fowler, a former coach in the 80s here. So we have our tournament. We have 360 65 athletes from all divisions, but that tournament's getting bigger. We're starting to turn teams away. It's getting filled up, and it's getting more competitive. And then on that Sunday, that high school youth event is becoming more popular, so we have high school teams here with the dual meet on the Sunday after. So from Friday to Sunday, we have something going on for everybody. So we would really like to see all our wrestling alumni come back, make that a big weekend for our alumni weekend. And we have Davison the night before, and Friday night, and the dual meet along with the dinner, and then you have the tournament on Saturday, and then the youth event on Sunday. So it's a great weekend of wrestling here on campus. Great time to be in the area, and hopefully you can bring a lot of our alumni back to watch and support the team.